NetsBoy, so let's hear what he has to say. His name is NetsBoy, he thinks the world is all over when the Nets just can't play.
What up, Net fans? NetsBoy here, bring you latest in your Brooklyn Nets news. All right, so we're about 2 weeks into the NBA season. The Nets have played 8 games and are currently 4-4 with impressive victories over the Grizzlies twice and the Bucks. The Bucks right now are a team that seems to be in all sorts of disarray, and we'll touch upon that in a second. In all the Giannis, rumors and stuff like that. But still, that's a team that has championship aspirations that the Nets took care of. The Grizzlies are a team that is expected to do very well in the West this year. The Nets beat them twice. And then their fourth win came against the Bulls, which doesn't shock me too much because, the Bulls have always been a little bit of a joke of a team. But overall, a very impressive and surprising start to this NBA season for the Brooklyn Nets. So now let's just quickly talk about some of the takeaways I've noticed through these first 8 games for this Nets team. Look, I think the biggest takeaway is this team plays hard. Simple as that. Coach Fernandez has them playing hard, has them playing tough, has them playing with grit and passion, and honestly, fun. This Nets team is fun. And it does bring me back to the 2018-19 Nets team, right? With D'Angelo Russell and Karis LeVert, Jared Allen, that fun team, that it brings you back. Spencer Dinwiddie, Joe Harris, it does bring you back to that team. It gives you the same type of feeling, right? And that's the type of feeling that I'm going to have to hold on to because that wasn't the plan. That wasn't the plan. Oh, my goodness. I can't believe. Look, this is very early on, right? It's 8 games in. They're 4-4. That doesn't mean they're going to end up 41-41 at the end of the year. I understand that. But right now, they're not sticking to the plan. The plan was simple. Develop the young players, develop a new culture, which they've done those two, and then play hard and lose. Play hard, but lose, right? Finish with a bottom 5 record in the league. So you get a top 5 draft pick and a generational talent and change the narrative of your franchise. That was the plan, right? At least I thought that was the plan. That's why the Nets got their draft picks back for this draft and the next draft and the 2026 as well. Their 25 and 26 pick. Wasn't that the plan? And I said this in my last NetsBoy episode. This Nets team does not suck enough. And lo and behold, 4-4. And it's comical. Because the range of emotions I have about this team is unbelievable. Because I'm extremely happy that they're 4-4 and that they're playing really well and they've been in every game and that they're getting some respect and being a respectable franchise again. I'm very happy about that. But I'm also very disappointed because I'm this doesn't get you a top lottery pick. Right now, the way they're playing, what are they right now? The 6th seed? Granted, once again, we're 8 games in. I get it. But the 6th seed in the East right now. What a range of emotions. So my point is, I have to actually now try to buy into the culture, right? And buy into them playing hard. And honestly, now, these first 8 games have changed the expectations for me. And I think that's what I'm really kind of frustrated about. Now I expect them to be around a 35-40 win team. Like I said, I don't think they're going to be a 500 team or over 500, but I think they should be around 35 wins now. And I think they should be right in the play. I think that should be a playing team right now. I really do. And there's no reason for me not to feel that way when I see how they play. They played well against teams like the Nuggets, and they were right there. They lost in overtime. They were right there against the Hawks, right? They were there in the Magic, and then they fell apart. The Pistons game, don't get me started about that, but I digress. The point is, they've been in every game, and they're 4-4. I think I have to believe. Because if I don't, I'm going to be frustrated. Because my mindset was going into this year was they were going to suck. And they were going to be a joke. And now they're not. And now they're screwing up the future. But look, it's a good thing. It really is. And Dennis Schroeder's playing amazing. Cam Johnson's playing amazing. Cam Thomas is doing his thing. Claxton looks good. Clowney looks good. Wilson looks good. Everything just looks good. Zaire Williams looks fantastic. Like, everything that could go right for the Nets has pretty much gone right at this point. I feel like, even Ben Simmons has been relatively healthy. He's been healthy and he's been okay, but I think you'll take what you've seen from him so far. Like I can't really think of a true negative at this point for this Nets team other than the fact that they're not on pace to suck. But look, maybe this changes the fortune of the Nets. There's a lot of speculation. I loosely touched upon this earlier. There's a lot of speculation that Giannis Antetokounmpo is not happy in Milwaukee, and that the Bucks are in a situation where they might have to trade him. Now, look, I don't think the Bucks are going to trade Giannis, at least not this year. All right, I think maybe going into the offseason next year, they might, if things don't get better for the Bucks. I know because first of all, I don't think the Bucks are going to continue on this trend of being one of the worst teams in the NBA right now. I think they're, what are they, 1-7 or something like that, or 2-6. I don't even remember right now, but they're not off to a good start. Heck, the Nets beat them, right? Which at that time was like the best win ever. But the speculation, and apparently the Nets are one of the teams that allegedly Giannis would be traded to. Insiders said the Heat and the Nets. We've heard the Heat and the Nets from day one. Damian Lillard, Heat or the Nets, right? Like, we heard about that. Like, now we got, the Bucks and Giannis, the Heat or the Nets. Like, it's always the Heat or the Nets. And I think that's because both teams have assets that they could trade to get those players. Like I said, I don't think that anything is happening this year. I think you're a little naive to think that mid-season a trade like that is going to happen. That doesn't mean that the Nets may not kick the tires or that Giannis won't get traded. I just don't think it's going to happen this season. I think over the offseason it could happen. And it makes a little bit more sense because right now, the only way the Nets could trade for Giannis, they would have to trade Ben Simmons, which you could do because it's an expiring contract and it could absolutely happen, in which, the Bucks get Ben Simmons and they'll probably waive him and then use it to shed salary. But the problem with that is the players that the Bucks would probably want from the Nets wouldn't really be able to offer without bringing in other contracts because they wouldn't match up contract-wise. Like, I feel like a package for Ben Simmons would have to be around Cam Johnson, right? I'm sure they're going to want Cam Thomas, which I wouldn't be against that, but I feel like a package would have to be around Cam Johnson and maybe one of the young Nets players, whether it's Dariq Whitehead, Noah Clowney, or Jalen Wilson, something like that. I don't know. I'm getting ahead of myself because once again, I don't think this is going to happen at least this year. But it just goes back to what I was trying to say, where I feel like the Nets have to now go all in on being a credible team because the tanking route, the sucking route, they're failing at. And maybe they'll get Giannis over the offseason. Maybe they'll go around 38 wins, be in the play-in, maybe sneak in as the A seed. Things go south. Bucks need to trade Giannis, and the Nets say, we'll go and get Giannis. And I'll say this right now. They better keep Dennis Schroeder, the Nets, because he deserves to be on this team. If the Nets could go out there and they could keep Schroeder, Thomas, and Claxton, and Thomas is the big one because I would expect the Bucks to really want to go after Cam Thomas. But if they could keep Schroeder, Thomas, and Claxton going into the offseason next year, and they can trade whatever they need to trade, whatever draft picks, whatever young players to get Giannis, and you have a team of Schroeder, Cam Thomas, Giannis Antetokounmpo, And Nick Claxton, that's the only thing right now that's making me feel a little bit better and buying in to the concept of the Nets being a decent team or an okay team. That thought, that possibility, the possibility of something like that. Because I can't think about the idea of them getting Cooper Flag, right? Like, they're screwing that up. But whatever. Overall, very good start to the Nets. And we have to be honest, it's impressive. And we have to just believe that they can keep it going. So now, let's wrap up this episode by looking at the next couple games for the Nets. Now, the Nets might be 4-4, but they're about to hit a pretty tough stretch. And I'm going to be honest. I'm looking at the games. They will be lucky to win one. I mean, so their next game is Friday against the Celtics, the defending NBA champion Celtics. I don't see a win there. Then they play the Cavs, which right now are the best team in the East. I don't see the Nets winning that game. Then they have the Pelicans. That's a winnable game, though. Once again, you never know what could happen. And then they have the Celtics again. Before then, they played the Knicks in the first group stage cup match because the Knicks are in the next stage. And then they played the Knicks again. So that's just Celtics, Cavs, Pelicans, Celtics, Knicks, Knicks. The Pelicans game is the only one that you can say I can see the Nets winning, right? So of those next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games, one is 1-5. Like, yeah. Because they got the Celtics and Knicks twice. Like, wow. Like, look, anything can happen. That's why you play the games. But I think if the Nets go 1-5 these next six games, I'll be okay. And as long as they continue to compete hard and play hard, I think it'll be okay. But look, I mean, the reality is this Nets team is fun now. It's exciting. It's interesting to see how the players continue to develop. And it's interesting to see what's going to happen. I'm going to be honest. I'm intrigued. So keep your eyes open to the next NetsBoy episode. I'm not sure when it's going to be. Might be in a week or two. It all kind of falls in, schedule-wise, both with the NBA schedule and my own schedule. This episode was easy because there's a 3-day gap between games for the Nets, so it's very easy to do an episode now. But just keep your eyes open. Let me know what you guys think about the start for this Nets team. If you like what you've seen from them so far, if you like the toughness, and if you agree with me that they're screwing up the strategy, but whatever. Let me know what you guys think about everything. And until then, this is NetsBoy saying, I mean, at least they're fun to watch. And signing off.